Home and Away Spoilers Bree battles to save Tim's life. Next week on Home and Away in the UK, Bree is forced to take drastic action to save Tim's life, as a new detective puts Cash under the spotlight. As the 2025 season kicks off on UK screens, we return to the Coystone River estate where a confused Cash had been found standing over the unconscious body of love rival Tim Russell with bloodied hands. Tim had accompanied girlfriend Eden and her lyric bandmates Remy, Theo and Kirby, as well as band manager Justin and Remy's girlfriend Bree, to the luxury resort on a rehearsal getaway. Cash had waged a campaign against Tim since that he was dating ex-fiancée Eden, who Cash unceremoniously dumped during his sister Felicity's funeral for her own protection, feeling that all those close to him end up dead and buried. When Cash subsequently discovered that Tim had, rather controversially, been the counselor of Eden's sister Abigail, he decided to look into Tim's former clients in an attempt to find something to further discredit him. Doing so opened up a whole can of worms, however, when he came across Nerida Mullins, who claimed to have had a relationship with Tim whilst he was her therapist. Cash convinced both Abby and Nerida to put in a complaint which saw Tim suspended from work pending an investigation. But it didn't take long before Abby and Cash realized that Nerida was a fantasist who had fabricated her story. Cash desperately tried to get hold of Eden when Nerida went on to make a direct threat towards her. But already heading off on the retreat, Eden ignored Cash's calls. When Cash subsequently found Tim's car covered in graffiti and the share house trashed, he followed the group to the estate in an attempt to ensure Eden's safety. That evening, Remy was surprised to spot Cash and Tim having a heated argument outside, but quickly ushered Eden back inside before she saw that Cash had turned up. What happened next is currently unknown, but the next morning a groggy Cash woke up in the gardens, hands covered in blood, with Tim's apparently lifeless body beside him. Next week we pick up the action after Justin discovered Cash, wondering what on earth he had done. As Cash tries to piece together what happened, Justin alerts Bree and Remy, who come rushing out of the house with some estate workers. Checking on Tim, Bree is at least able to find a very weak pulse, but with the remoteness of the estate it could be over an hour before the paramedics arrive, leaving Bree with a battle to keep him alive. Justin asks Cash how long Tim has been unconscious, but he still cannot remember anything about what happened. Bree is beginning to feel the pressure, particularly since she's still on leave from the hospital following her OCD diagnosis, and asks everyone to take a step back so she can concentrate on saving Tim. Eden and Kirby then emerge from the house, with Eden equally shocked and confused to see Tim lying on the floor and Cash sitting nearby. The staff bring Bree a defibrillator and spinal board as requested whilst she does her best to keep Tim stable. Meanwhile, Detective Mark Townsend is now on a police speedboat en route to the estate, who hears that the ambulance is still a further hour away. Townsend arrives just as Bree is attaching the defib pads to Tim, in the hope that she won't have to use them. Cash immediately introduces himself to the detective, his main concern being that he should be there to protect Eden. Townsend quickly concludes that Eden isn't in any immediate danger, considering she's being comforted by Kirby, and instead decides to prioritize establishing what actually happened. He begins by asking Justin to tell him exactly what he discovered before calling in the authorities. Townsend is particularly interested to hear that Justin's immediate thought after finding Tim and Cash was that Cash had been the perpetrator. But the group are distracted when Tim suddenly starts having a seizure. With the ambos still a good half hour away, Bree knows that she needs to release the pressure building up inside Tim's skull, or he won't make it. Unfortunately, there's only one way she can do that, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. Bree orders someone to find her a drill, and fast. Kirby's shocked when she realizes that Bree is planning on a burr hole procedure, and offers to assist. For those that don't remember, it's previously been established that Kirby did a year of medical school before dropping out to join Lyric, a fact that Bree wasn't aware of until now. As Kirby sterilizes an electric drill bit that has been handed to them with some alcohol, Remy is also drafted in to hold Tim's head still. They can only hope that Tim doesn't wake up during the procedure. There's a sigh of relief as the burr hole works and the fluid is released, meaning Tim is stable until the paramedics finally arrive and Bree is able to hand over. When Townsend moves on to trying to question Cash, Cash is insistent that it's a waste of time, and they should be out there looking for Narita. When Bree checks Cash over and warns he may need a quart, Cash is more concerned about staying to help with the investigation. Townsend is quick to put pay to that idea, however, pointing out that Cash is a suspect, not a police officer. As everyone decamps back to Summer Bay, Eden regrets not listening to Cash about Narita, but Remy asks if she's really buying into that. As far as he's concerned, Cash was the one who attacked Tim, and tells Eden about the argument he saw between the two the night before. When Rose later arrives at Northern District's hospital to question Cash, who still can't remember anything, she's confused as to why he thinks they should be focusing on Narita. Annoyed to realize that Townsend isn't taking his claims seriously, Cash opts to return home after getting the all-clear from Bree, pointing out to Rose that he's not been charged so is free to go. Rose returns to the station and introduces herself to Townsend, who is less than impressed when she then brings up the Narita claim. Townsend makes it clear that they're more interested in other lines of enquiry. Feeling that it's Cash's obsession that Eden actually needs protecting from, Remy finally decides that enough is enough and heads to the police station, telling Townsend everything about the weeks leading up to the incident. All the evidence now stacked up against him, Townsend has no hesitation in placing Cash under arrest. With Cash now locked up, is Eden really still in danger as he claims? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.